To keep up with the changing ways that people pay, the Bank of Canada is exploring a digital Canadian dollar, also known as a central bank digital currency. Simply put, this would be a digital version of cash, but it wouldn't replace cash. It would have the same dollar value, and it would be accessible to anyone and everyone. Unlike cash, you wouldn't need to carry multiple bills or change. Like a bank card, it would work for both in-person and online purchases. Similar to banknotes, it could possibly still be used when the internet is not available. Just like the cash in your wallet, it wouldn't earn interest. But it would be secure and private. You could keep your digital dollars securely on a phone, a card, or another device. At this point, at the Bank of Canada, we're still studying the possibility of issuing a digital Canadian dollar and how it might work. Tell us what you think about a digital Canadian dollar by taking part in our public consultation.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was the Central Bank of Canada. You need to know that you are the data. I'm going to explain that, and also you're going to understand more about what the ultra-rich are thinking right now when it comes to crypto, and see who the American banker thinks is innovative. That's a big surprise. I'm also fighting some XRP FUD. And who is Brad Garlinghouse, the Ripple CEO, talking to in Dubai? Yeah, that's interesting. And Japan is concerned about social media and bank runs. The finance leaders of the group of 7 advanced economies are going to discuss this week on how to strengthen the global financial system. It's in light of the recent U.S. bank failures. And this comes ahead of their big meeting in Hiroshima on May 19, 20, and 21st. The emergence of social media and internet banking has raised concerns, so the discussion will take place on setting up individual emergency plans just in case they face a digital bank run. If you are Canadian, you'll have until June 19th to weigh in on the use of a central bank digital currency, a CBDC. There are about 20 questions in their survey, and they state all the answers will remain private. And yes, you do have the option to say, I prefer not to answer. However, they want to know where you live, your postal code, your age, your income, your gender, your ethnicity, and your education. It's quite a lot of personal information. They say that it'll help them analyze the data. Don't forget, you are the data. And another interesting statement is that digital currencies like Bitcoin, they say, could compromise the central role of the Canadian dollar. Talk about placing fear, uncertainty, and doubt without any explanation. At the annual meeting this last Saturday with Warren Buffett, casting his warnings that the easy money is over, he dumped $13.3 billion in stocks for cash. And he's basically in a risk-off position, and that would be for assets like crypto. In these stagnant prices, Goldman Sachs also issued their results on a survey. Less of the ultra-rich are interested in crypto. 62% have no interest, compared to 16% in 2021. Now, I guess that's kind of a no-brainer, right? Once we see some price action, you're going to see those numbers swing. They only surveyed 166 family offices around the world, but each one of those family offices had at least $1 billion in assets. It's so typical. Just because it's part of the ultra-rich, it is the same trend for even the real small retail investor. Everyone appreciates good investigative journalism, right? I'm sure you do. But boy, there is a lot of low quality, really poor coverage in this crypto space. And I found that Protos is atrocious. Their article that they released today has a huge problem with how many UNLs are being run by Ripple. I gave a heads up to their editor, Elisa, but I'm not sure they're going to have any sort of correction because they seem to do this all the time. That unique node list for the XRP ledger was updated on March 23rd on the XRP Ledger Foundation website. It's completely reliable, and this should be your source. Crypto Arsenal shared with me a visual for that new update and the 3 new validators that came online. You can see the distribution by percentage. And I can't wait for new content creators to start fighting FUD. Yeah, I just found their other article that they released a couple of weeks ago talks about a Ripple ICO and talks about how the Ethereum price was adding to the gambling money that made the ICO of XRP's price rise. Well, Ethereum didn't even launch until 3 years after XRP was in circulation. And it also goes on to say that Bitcoin and Ethereum were rallying by so many percentage points that it was hard to place a comma. You need to research, actually, the percentage gains on XRP versus BTC. I think it would surprise you. For those who might be new in the space, I should clarify, Ripple never had an ICO, and there's been some great comments. I just uploaded that tweet just, gosh, I don't know, a couple hours ago, and there is a lot of response because, well, we're tired of this in the space, but the stories just get more crazy as we go. Mr. Huber said that, yeah, it just gets better. Ethereum in their article now predates the XRP ledger, at whose ICO Ripple sold XRP for Ethereum and Bitcoin. He questions if they are a satire magazine. Oh gosh, I guess you laugh or you cry, and I'm choosing to laugh today. Doug Brooks, who's with the XDC Network, had a long chat with the Ripple team. You can see him here pictured with Brad Garlinghouse. They are both in Dubai, and blockchain is the new tool to access private equity. And XDC's network is right over the target. Doug Brooks is going to talk about that with the Swiss fintech company called FinPeers, and they're doing that talk in Dubai at the summit. There's just tons of innovation when it comes to blockchain and private equity, including the use of crowdfunding regulation like SeedStarter is working on. You can find them at Join SeedStarter on Twitter. Tokenization is going to touch everything physical. I have a really quick clip for you out of a full version video that I'm going to upload in a couple of hours. This is Chip and Jeff from On the Chain channel and their new project. Have a listen, and then we're going to jump to some fluff. So why are you here, guys? There's something going on, right? You have something new.
We have something new. We have launched an official NFT project after we've been talking about it for a while, right, Jeff?
For 2 years. 2 years. 2
years. All right. 2 years. And we finally joined the builder community and released an NFT project called the Badass Yetis. And the Yetis, that mythical creature that circles around the Himalaya mountains.
Discover the awe-inspiring universe of the Badass Yetis, comprising 7 diverse clans, each possessing unparalleled abilities and strengths.
What our final objective is for it is we're building a brand. We always tell people, go build something, go figure it out. You like the XRPL? If you like and enjoy what it is, then do something with it. And if you don't, then adopt it. It's like, if you go to xrp.cafe, we'd love you to get a Badass Yeti, but go get something else. Support the community. And the way we get people like mass adoption. Well, it starts with you getting out there and actually doing something and supporting projects and being involved in projects. If you're not going to be a builder, go support somebody else who is.
Overall, I think all the projects that are launching on the XRPL and using XRP Cafe or one of the other XRPL based platforms, it's amazing because we're all pioneers. Writing the background story of the Badass Yetis was a blast. There's this kind of phrase that the Badass Yetis always say, and the direct translation of it is, I see you, our enemies will fall, and we will be victorious. I see the fire in your eyes, the fear in your heart, the sword in your hand, and the anger in your voice. I see, but it does not matter, because we will hunt you down. goodbye.
We went to the NFT Miami and got a lot of weird looks. People are like, what chain are you on? We're like, XRPL. They're like, hmm?
What was the biggest challenge working with the XRP ledger?
I would say that XRP.cafe, first of all, first rate crew over there, they went above and beyond. When you have two newbies like us, and we met with them, and I have to say that they just, when I say hand holding, they did some hand holding, right? Because Jeff and I, and the idea, the whole thing. So as we brainstormed it and created these, a lot of people don't realize like what the amount of effort that goes into them. The biggest thing is the JSON file. JSON file looks like you open it up and a text editor looks like a piece of code. It's got your typical type of code, and that has all of the attributes in there. Every NFT has a JSON file. That JSON file is what tells you everything associated with that, where it's located on the blockchain, what name it is, what attributes you have, and then ultimately you'll be able to calculate the rarity.
The future is unbelievable, so I'm just really honored to be able to be part of it at this phase, not just on the podcast side that Chip and I have done for a long time, but now on the building side.
Yeah, once the clarity comes, I think the use cases will just explode. It's interesting. I have two people I know in the community that are coming to Japan this week, and both of them are going to Disneyland. But one family asked me, what can I do in addition to going to Disneyland with my 11-year-old daughter? And I asked if there was any other children and the age. And yeah, the daughter has a sibling who is a toddler, just 3 years old. So yeah, that was a really good question. Well, first and foremost, here are the wait times at Tokyo Disneyland. It's a website that you can check because sometimes the lines are incredibly long. And I think it's all about mental preparation, right? If it's a busy day, you just want to be prepared for sometimes as long as over an hour wait time for some of the more popular attractions. So I put all the warnings out first because this is a very adult city, and children, it's not necessarily so children friendly. And there's a lot of things you need to know ahead of time, like you're going to find it very difficult to find garbage cans, and that is due to the history of a gas attack, or it was a sarin gas attack on the trains more than 20 years ago. But because of that, one of the safety concerns, and then of course just in general city safety and not being able to hide explosives, the garbage cans are just pretty much non-existent. So be prepared for that. Also, when you're on a train, you don't want to leave your backpacks on your back. For manners, you flip them forward. Just a little manner that most people maybe don't know about. And if you don't want to get those kind of funny looks on the train, go ahead and flip them around. You'll also want to be sure that you follow the line up manners. Always get on the left-hand side of an escalator. And gosh, what else? It's very easy to find a very clean public toilet. That's a good thing. But very difficult to find a place to sit down in a public space unless you're going to pay for a restaurant. And the restaurants are not typically set up to handle small children. I mean, there are what they call family restaurants, and yeah, they are prepared. But for the most part, this city is a little bit difficult with toddlers. So he told me his daughter loves neon lights, like something in the way of Times Square. And so Tokyo has a few of those, not just one. But for the age of 11 years old, I think Shibuya is the best. For an 11-year-old, it might be fun to see the young fashion. Shibuya is wonderful even at night, and it is safe, and it's famous for its crosswalk. It's the busiest crosswalk in the world. I'm going to recommend the afternoon T-bus tour. It is, well, a time that you can sit back and let somebody else do the driving. Taxis are expensive, and everybody moves so fast. So why not sit back and let someone else do the driving and see the cityscapes and eat some delicious sweets? The double-decker bus holds 20 passengers, and it'll take you around for 90 minutes. It departs 3 times a day, 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m., and for just about $49 US per person, I think it's a great way to see the city. Now, if they didn't have the toddler, I would say that you probably want to go see Harajuku. This is a little bit of an exaggerated picture in terms of the amount of people, but it is very lively and very famous. This is Takeshita Street. Therefore, I think if you go just a little outside of the center of Tokyo, go to Sanrio Puroland. This is a dream indoor land for kids who love Hello Kitty and all the other characters. Many displays, things to buy, and a stage show that'll keep you entertained for hours. This month's stage show is Cute Kabuki. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.